like to start our live off with a little bit of clear vibration. Whew, while we wait for a few of our friends to realise that we have jumped on. I hope everyone's weekend has been fabulous, fantastic, exciting. Play with my clear quartz today. Hey, how are you, mate? I hope you've had a good weekend, eh? Everything going well? Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to see you, mate. Been a bit of an interesting weekend in the world news this weekend, isn't it? But I just observe. We just observe it. We can't do anything about it. There's a lot of old energies, coming up to the surface. And a lot of those, like hatreds and wars and aggression and violence has been going on for many, many, many decades. And I hope that the world can learn not to resolve its issues through war. But it seems there's still a few lessons to be learned. It's very sad, mate. A lot of people will lose their lives. A lot of people already have. It's, not something I personally want to focus on because we can send out positive vibes to everyone. But we really don't have that, we can't make a difference directly, I don't think, from our perspective, but we can stay in our positive attitude, which is all we can do, and hope that that positive vibration extends to others and others that are controlling and in powerful positions. Yes. But this is what it is, right? This is life. And for those who have just jumped on, I say hello to all of you. My friend Clips there, he's just jumped on first. He loves being first. I am Craig. This is my YouTube channel, Craig's World Rocks. Very open forum that I discuss about, how people see life, about issues with your lives, things that are going on, different perspective on how to go about dealing with things in one's life, I'm very much a glass half full individual. So I basically believe very strongly, for those who have not heard me before and listened to me before, what you put out is what comes back. So being a glass half full individual actually will help. It helps me to have more positive things happening in my life because I believe what we put out is what comes back. Mrs. Bongos, how you going? I hope everything is well. Here in Melbourne, Australia, where I am talking from, things are good. So any Aussies that are on, cheers to you all. Anyone else from around the world, hang out, listen, no drama. Sad num one chook. Well, we're all about being the most positive we can be ourselves here on my channel, mate. So it's up to yourself. A person can choose to be Mrs. Bongos. Well, welcome for you being you. I hope that you like what we get into as I talk about how I see life. Seth, Lauren, welcome also. You live in Australia, so we're in the lucky country, right? That's what they keep telling us. I think we're lucky to be all the way away from a lot of the issues going on in Europe and so on, and Asia at the moment. So, that in its sense could make us a little bit luckier, but no one's really away from anything in the world now. Everyone's connected. So, but yeah, so for everyone that's jumped on, welcome, right? So how do I see life, right? Oh, well, I'm glad that the weather's nice over there, Mrs. Bongos. I'm glad it is very nice. Um, the real Crizzy or Primey. There you go, mate. Aussie, very good, mate. Yes, I'm an Aussie. No one cares. Yeah, it's fair enough, right? You don't have to, mate. So if you like what we talk about here, obviously hang out, have a listen. If you don't, that's fine. You can find other forums that are more to your liking. So I'm an individual that believes very strongly that each individual person creates their own life, creates their own reality. You know, I look at life. I see life. There's a few different ways people can actually look upon their life. You can either believe that there is a being above us, God, etc., something like that, that actually makes everything happen for you, and you really don't have too much control. You can believe that, like atheists, that that we don't go on. That at the end of this life, that's it, and then how important can the life be if it's only one life? Well, it can be seen as pretty important, or it can be seen as doesn't seem to have much meaning because we're not going to, care at the end of it. Or you can have a look at your life and start to understand that how you act actually does affect what goes on in your life, right? What you put out is what comes back. Now, a lot of this stuff I've proven to myself over my life. Just through actions, just through experiences. And I believe that each person can prove this to themselves as well, right? When it comes to proving these things to yourself, it's really in your day-to-day experiences and, people that you come in contact with where you can test these things out. I mean, you have an interaction with someone, right? You might be someone might be dropping a package off to your home, and your response to them could be, yeah, thanks, mate, no worries, and it's really blunt and no real emotion. Or you could try being really thankful. Thank you for bringing that to the door, mate. Really appreciate you. Talking at a more heartfelt thank you to them. Yeah, no worries, Ruth, all good. So basically, when you speak at a higher level, when you speak more positively, you often will see from that individual, oh, they've really, really thanked me for doing something that I do every day. No one really cares. And it warrants a response, or it brings out an emotion with that person. You're lifting their vibration. Like attracts like. What you put out is what comes back. Everything around us is a reflection of how we're working and how we're going inside. Val Hemi, how are you going? Welcome. The topic is life, the universe, and everything. Let's get into understanding what makes life tick. All right. Being a positive individual is very, very important, right? Because the only person I believe that each of us controls in life truly is yourself. So when you go out there, it's not about trying to manipulate and control everyone around you to make your life better. It's actually the opposite. It's something that a lot of us don't realize. It's actually looking at yourself. It's slowing things down. It's taking the time to analyze who you are, right? And try and be a more authentic, positive person in your own life. It's taken ownership of that, right? It's taken ownership of how you act. So before I jump into that, appreciate you, Ruth. The three things that I believe go into manifesting your own reality, creating your own reality, are how you think, how you speak, and how you act, right? If you take ownership of those three things, your life will change. It will change for the better if you start acting, thinking, and speaking more positively. If you connect with life and you start to look at life and go, my life's got to mean something good. I'm going to make an effort to live this life in the best possible way I can. Namarose, Namarose, welcome. You are welcome. So it's taken ownership of yourself, guys, right? It's taken ownership. of how you act. It's taking ownership of what you think. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I think something, but no one knows because they can't hear it. I'm thinking it. But the reality is your subconscious mind knows what you're thinking, right? Your subconscious mind is the part of you that manifests your own reality automatically. It's doing it every moment of every day. Often people get caught on the hamster wheel of negativity because they're thinking negative things. They're responding to a situation that's not a positive situation, and they're lowering themselves from responding in the same way. Basically, you want to take ownership of what you put out in those ways, because that's what's called lifting your vibration. Not at all, Jim. When I go out, I'm more smart people. Valhemi, 100%. I think we all get a bit wiser as we get little bit longer in the tooth. I'm Australian. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, for those who have not seen me before. I'm 56, proud of it. I've had a very full life to this point. But I've spent my life in Melbourne, Australia, and it's a great place to live. I'm very lucky. You know, so for me, it is about the simple things. It's about the things that happen through your day. You know, every interaction that you have is just as important as the overwhelming big ones. You know, have you ever heard the term, you know, to achieve a goal, a big goal in your life, you've actually got to break it down to do, you know, maybe 10, 20 little goals. Basically, it's the same with creating your own reality, right? You want to transform yourself to be someone out here that's, you know, got a lot more money and a lot more love and a lot more abundance in their life. You need to see the things that you aren't doing and the things that you need to do to head towards that version of yourself. But you need to think positively about that person. You need to speak positively about what you want, and you need to start acting in a way that directs you to go towards that particular manifestation of yourself. You know, a person can achieve and create anything they want in life. I believe that. But with the limitations on how we have limiting beliefs on ourselves that we've been programmed with, right, from children, we've got to work with those until we expand upon those. Kicks rocks. I like that, George. Very nice. Mr. Roadstrom, he calls me Mr. Positive. Thank you, mate. Welcome aboard. Right, so you gotta, I say this a lot, but I know it's because a lot of you have not listened to me before. You have to know who you are right now, right? See you, Ruth. Take care. Nice for dropping in. You have to know who you are right now, right? Warts and all. You have to accept who you are right now to actually move to the new you, right? It's the analogy that I use with this, how you go from who you are now to a new version of yourself, is basically accepting yourself fully where you are now, accepting yourself warts and all. Because if you don't accept a part of yourself, you basically stop yourself from being able to move, right? So you'll keep recreating the same thing because you're locking onto a particular thing. You're not allowing it to flow, right? So when you accept everything about you, you know where you are on the map, right? Let's use a map as the analogy. You know where you are. So if you know where you're starting and you know on the map where you want to go, you set the direction and off you go, right? Basically, if you know where you want to go and you know where you are, you can work out what you need to do to get to that position in life. And that's setting those smaller goals in a lot of cases and start to act those things out. When you start to think about, this is what I want, I'm after this, and you're saying it, and then you're acting and heading in that direction of who you want to be, basically, then your subconscious sees those three things going on. See, because your subconscious just recreates what you think, what you say, and what you do. I know it sounds really crazy, really simple, but that's it, right? Now, you might think to yourself, yeah, but you could be a concrete crazy lunatic, and if you work out those three things, you could start using it for nefarious reasons. It only, if you aren't working from your heart, if you're not creating from the positive you, then you'll find a lot of shit just gets created back into your life. And predominantly until you connect with yourself, until you're authentic, until you're genuine, until you genuinely want to be a better person, to transform your life in a better way. Mr. Joe Obert, hello to you too, sir. Do I play darts? Oh, I'm sure Mr. Blogs does. But, we need to be looking at ourselves. The whole concept of people creating their own reality is about being authentic with who you are. That's the starting point. That's the absolute starting point. And if there are things that what can you say? If there are things that you don't like about you, well, when you take a really good look at who you are, when you analyze yourself, you can decide whether you need to change anything. Most people don't work out how to change anything about themselves, or they think this is how it is, I'm always going to be this way. Hey, Crystalline, how you going? Because they're not taking the time out from the crazy, crazy rat race. They're not stepping out of it and actually slowing things down for themselves so they can actually have a good look at, who am I? Who is Craig? What do I believe? What are the things I do on a daily basis? The way we really transform, and trying to get this into a nutshell for you guys to grasp it in a basic way, is, you have to accept yourself for who you are, because I don't think anyone has the time or the energy to be going back through our lives to look at every situation that's ever happened to us, right? We have to basically accept ourselves, not trying to analyze everything. You'll never do it, right? But if you can accept yourself for where you are today, if you can look in the mirror and say, I've done the best I bloody well can with what I knew up to today, right? And I'm a good person, and I do the best I can. That's all you need to do, right? That's all you guys need to do. Accept yourself, be happy with who you are, warts and all, and then from that day on, every end of every day you get home, have a think about how you've acted for that day. Have a think about your interactions that you had through the day. Were they good? Were they shit? Were you happy with yourself, with your responses within what you do in life, right? Because if you analyze yourself from that now moment, you can make a change. You can say, I really wasn't happy with myself when I said that. I don't know why I said that, but I'm going to make an effort to try and react differently next time that type of situation occurs. Mr. Fred Blogs, I appreciate you, man. Bye, B, Brian. It's all about ourselves. What I'm talking about to everyone is really about taking time, not looking for an answer out here. I know that you're all listening to what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about focusing on ourselves. That the answer isn't in some church or seminar or whatever it might be out there. The answer for you guys individually about your life and what you need to be doing isn't out there. It's actually inside yourself. If you don't know what makes you tick, if you don't remember what you're truly into in life, what's something that makes you feel good? What's something that makes you feel the best you've ever felt? If you're not doing those things in your life, I would suggest that you're almost wasting your life a bit, right? Because there's only a few things in life that all of us can agree on, and that there are some things for each of us individually that make us feel really good. If that's all you know and you're not doing those things, you need to have a good look in the mirror and say, why am I not doing those things in my life? can I start doing some things aligning with that a bit more? Because you can. But it's about analyzing yourself. It's about, what do I want to be doing? What is the thing that comes from my heart? When you're a kid, most people remember being into particular things, but then often kids get directed to, play in the group and everyone's got to agree, or else, you get called weird if you're thinking about different stuff to what everyone else in the group is thinking. But as you become an adult, understand that weird is good, right? Unique. It's authentic. It's who we are. We're actually individual sparks of love and light in this world, in this existence. We're individual. So we have individual aspects of ourselves that are unique to ourselves that we need to connect with, and we need to start to listen to what's going on in ourselves. Troy, appreciate you, mate. Mandy, how you going? Appreciate all the comments, guys. It's nice to see everyone hopping on. I also decided, for the people that have jumped on that have listened to me before, I'll do a few less, I'll do a couple of times a week, maybe lives, because I want to spend a bit more time in the live and just really dive into things a bit further. If I did short ones, I don't think it has as much impact for all of us. So I'm happy to, I might eventually put certain times that I will do permanently at the same time, so you guys know when I'm coming on. But it's hard because, work-life balance, all that stuff. But that's just something else I just threw in there. But taking ownership of our own lives, that's what we're talking about here. The way I think, if you want to put it into a bracket of a title, it's metaphysical. It's basically it's almost a spiritual science. I've proved a lot of these things to myself in turn strengthening my belief in the spiritual, right? So I'm not a religious person, I'll put it out there, and I have no drama if someone is, right? But I find a lot of the religious limitations there's some heavy limitations there, right? So life is about creating a reality that is what you want for yourself. And if you're working from your heart, if you're being an authentic individual, if you're wanting the best for yourself and the best for others around you, focusing inward and getting your own light to shine as strong as it can, be as positive as you can, I think that's how you start to access the part of the mind that science says that we don't use it for anything. I think we have great storage of, information that is there to be unlocked. I think the secret to unlocking that information within ourselves is about doing the things that make us tick, doing the things that give us the greatest joy, following your passions, going after the things that lift your vibration automatically. Because the key to unlocking you is being at a much higher vibration. And I think that's what the world is going through at the moment. The world and planet is cleansing itself. It's lifting its own vibration. So to basically get on board with that wave, it's about this year, for me, it's really reminding yourself of what you're passionate about. What is it that you'd love to do on a daily basis, and you'd love it all again? Hey, Gab, how you going? And you'd love to be doing that all the time. What is it that you'd want to be doing? This year, start to do some of those things. Start to do things that are just for you, that are personally your things, that are passionate from you, things that make you feel, wow, I'm feeling great doing this. I love this. This isn't work. This is excitement. This is when you really connect with who you are, in my opinion. And again, for others that haven't listened to me before, please always take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. It's about being skeptical. It's about not being gullible, taking the things that answer the questions that you have now with everything that you listen to, right? It's not good to just bang, 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 believe everything. Shout him out. Ted, how How you going, buddy? Chiron. Oh, there you go, mate. Sorry, mate. It's hard sometimes when I get talking, mate, because I'm not looking at the chats half the time. So my apologies. ME50, you are always welcome here, my friend. Look, guys, you know, it's something that I think, you know, there's going to be a lot of external stuff going on in the world that isn't going to be so positive, like we've seen over the weekend with the states, you know, firing some rockets off at Iran and so on and so forth. It's not positive stuff. Stay centered within yourself. You know, basically, be good to yourself. Center yourself. You know, we need to stay centered and focused, and just focus on yourself and focus on doing things that you really enjoy doing. Yeah, I'm an Aussie. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Kristen, nice to see the writing on the screen. So I'm always, a lot of people refer to me as Mr. Positive, or one particular follower refers to me as Mr. Positive. I'm very much an individual that believes what we put out into the world is what comes back. What's happening around us, appreciate you. What's happening around us is actually a reflection of who we are inside. So if there's a bit of chaos happening around in your world, there might be a little bit of chaos happening inside, you know, because your higher self is trying to give you a reflection to actually help clear some of this stuff going on here. We create our own world. I honestly believe that we've created this world, or this existence as a collective, which we all are part of, where all that is. We've done it to learn about ourselves and expand upon who we are, understand ourselves from different perspectives, right? We live many, many lifetimes. So I'm living this lifetime as Craig, and I'm getting a perspective of this life existing as me. And no, I'm not a religious individual, Christian. I'm into metaphysics. So I'm into the science of spirituality. Okay, so I'm a very spiritual person. I'm trying to live the most authentic life I can. That's what led me to start doing my lives, putting out a lot of, hey Terry, how you going? Putting out a lot of information about things that I've learned from quite a few different mentors over my journey. And I didn't want it to be for nothing. And for me, having these conversations with all of you is really good for me. Yep, I'm an Aussie Terry, Melbourne, Australia. How you going? Where are you hailing from? Somewhere else, or Australia? I don't know. But what you put out there is what comes back. What's going on in front of you and in your life is reflecting what's going on inside yourself. The answers, I think, to us transforming our lives for the better aren't out there. They're not in someone's building. They're not in a church. They're not in any of those places. They're not in a, you know, wherever. They're actually inside ourselves, right? Well, nice to meet you, Terry. You know, so how do you access information from yourself? I hear you ask. Someone asked that. Look, the Eastern cultures on this planet, you know, the Tibetan monks and all these spiritual individuals or groups, meditation is a central positive driving tool to connect with themselves internally, to access information from within yourself, you know. So meditation is about quietening the mind, and it's about centering oneself. It's about stepping out of the craziness of life, right? That we live on a daily basis. A lot of us are doing jobs, and a lot of us some are studying and all types of things going on. But we get caught up in that, right? We get caught up in that like that's all there is. But life's much bigger than that. And to find and discover what I mean by being much bigger is taking time for yourself to step out of that high-paced life that we live, the rat race, and actually quieten everything down. And meditation is a really good tool to do that, right? Meditation is basically breathing. So you breathe in your nose, deep into your diaphragm, into your belly button. You push your belly button out and then exhale out the mouth. And you do this over and over again. Now, at the basic level, that's going to help you let go of the stress that you've been carrying on a daily basis. I highly advise individuals to start with 5 or 10 minutes a day. 5 or 10 minutes a day of just breathing. After you finish work, if that's the case, or school, or whatever it is, find your room, quiet place, close the curtains, make sure a nice, dark, quiet room, and just focus on your breathing in your nose, deep in your stomach, out your mouth. And then the circular breathing basically slows your heart down, slows your mind down, and actually helps you wash the stress of the day away. If you do that, start doing that every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you can, you're going to find that eventually your mind becomes clear, the stress clears away quicker, and then information or memories and things can start popping into your mind. No. 5 minutes of breathing. Do I hold it for 23 hours? Not at all. Not at all, Eminem. Look, it's focusing on the breathing, on the breath. It's breath work, right? So it's the same breathing as what a singer does when they're learning to hold their breath and be able to exhale and sing and all that type of stuff. So focus on it. Now, meditation isn't just done by breathing. It's done by relaxing. It's done by stepping away from everything, like a quiet room. If you find the breathing hard to concentrate on, just let your mind go blank, right? Just lay there and relax for 5 minutes, right? If you ever see someone zone out like they're off with the fairies, in Australia we say that term a lot. Are you off with the fairies? Like you seem to be blanking out. That's a form of meditation. Hello, Gio Bozo. Bozo? I said that totally wrong. Hello to you, right? Cielo. Yes, we'll just say that. Cielo. And Moab, hello to you too. Everyone, the people that have not seen me, I am going well. Amelia, how are you going? The people who have not listened to me before, I am a glass half full individual. I'm a person that believes that we all have a say in our lives, that what we put out comes back, that you can transform your lives for the better if you decide to start to look inward rather than outward for your answers. Eastern culture has been more on top of this than what our Western society has been for a very long time. And meditation, no problem. Meditation is a really good thing, a really good practice to start to do for yourself. I mean, you know, you can't expect your life to transform into something amazing without doing some work. Okay, so let's look at these things. Let's look at something else for something different for a change. If you want to be muscular and fit and healthy and all those things that a lot of young people and, well, just general people in life want to be, you go to the gym, you work out, you lift weights, you go running, you walk, you do all that stuff to help the physical body get stronger, right? Yeah, it's a little bit Buddhist. Yep, you could say that, Mr. Redacted. That's all right, Mr. Redacted. No dramas here at all, mate. But it's certainly not occult teachings. It's metaphysical. You can look that up if you like. But you know, we all have to strengthen different parts of ourselves to see if that brings forward any new information. I don't believe in blindly listening to what someone else says. That's why I say to everyone that listens to me, take what you like, throw away what you don't like. Thank you, CLO. It is appreciated. And, you know, you shouldn't believe everything that someone blindly tells you. I mean, I'm speaking my truth, right? Now, some people will click with me. Some people will not click with me. That's okay. I'm speaking my truth, right? And I want to understand who I am from a human perspective and a being perspective. I want to know who I am more. I want to understand, are there more things that I can awaken within myself as a human being? Are there more abilities we have? I don't know. I mean, If we don't investigate ourselves and try and connect more with ourselves, how are we ever going to know? I mean, a lot of people talk about the masters that have walked around this planet over the thousands of years on Earth, right? All these masters, I believe they were trying to show us that we could all be the same, that we could all live in a different way, that we could connect with ourselves in a different way. Yeah? If you want to strengthen your connection with your mind, meditation is a very good tool to begin that connection. It's inwardly focusing your thoughts. It's allowing stress from outside to dissipate, and it's, well, that's your opinion, Jimmy. So you can say it once, that's fine, mate, but that's your opinion. If you want to preach that, everyone has the opportunity to do that. You can start your own YouTube channel, right? But here, I'm really about allowing individuals to look at things from a different perspective. So you can hang out and listen, mate, but if one starts to preach or direct people in a certain way or try to force that belief, I don't accept that. I'm very much about people allowing themselves to connect with who they are and understand that we're in charge. Like, we are in charge of our own lives. We've been programmed to believe that we're not. But when we clear away those negative beliefs, when we clear away things that we've been told as kids that are just like beliefs that are very limiting and very negative, if we allow ourselves to step outside those, we realise that there's a lot more to us than meets the eye as human beings, right? Jimmy, thanks, mate. So, I don't have a problem with people having their belief, but, I want everyone to be able to talk about things in a very open way. And, if someone brings their own belief here and they start to constantly jam it on the chat, well, I'm going to hide those chats because it's not their YouTube channel to, they can create their own YouTube channel. Can't they, Sir Wavy Audits? I do what I believe. This is my page. Free to move on if you don't like what I talk about. But attitude is everything, but it's connecting. No, I'm not a Christian and I'm not a Buddhist. I would be put into the terms of someone that believes they create their own reality. So I would be in the metaphysical sense of thinking of things. I don't believe that there is entities that are creating my reality for me or more powerful than me. I believe we all are a part of the thing that I like to call the all that is, the life force energy. We all come into this world as human beings. We live in this world, right? We live in this world together. We live with trees and water and food and sun and light and earth and other people. We're all the same. We're all the same. We're all family, right? There's a lot of hatred in the world. There's a lot of anger. Well, pretty much those people that are angry and hating everything are angry and hating it at themselves, because we all are from the same place. Can we not agree on that? We have to be from the same place. We all came in here as babies. We're all going to leave the same way. Are we not all the same? We're unique sparks of the same aspect of existence. We go on forever. I believe that. We are part of the all that is. We are eternal. We do not need to do anything to be given a golden ticket to say, you have been a good boy, here's your ticket for eternal life. No, you already have eternal life. You are the all that is. No one can take that away from any of us. We exist, we think, therefore we are. Right? That's how I see it. So again, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I've proven many, many things to myself over my own life through actions, and they've come back in certain ways that go, wow, that's definite. I've separated from my physical body twice in my life. I don't hide that fact. It's called an out-of-body experience. I've done it twice. And I've looked at my energy arm and energy torso and everything, electric blue energy it was, and I felt about 100 times, 1,000 times more energy and alive than I've ever felt in the physical body. I know that we go on. I know that for myself, okay? There is a place in America called the Monroe Institute. It is a university that studies out-of-body experiences. It was founded by an author called Robert Monroe. And Robert Monroe was an individual a long time ago, and he wrote books. The main one was called Journeys Out of the Body. That was his first one, where he was sick and he found himself separating from his body. So he's having like a near-death experience. But then he realized that he could do things when he was out of his body. And that's where all the stories in his book come into it. Now, he developed this university called the Monroe Institute. There are people, look it up. There are people that go there to learn about how to bring on out-of-body experiences. Believe it or not, look it up online. Robert Monroe, very interesting, the Monroe Institute. No drugs involved, Sir Wavy Audits. No drugs involved, right? Just basically a mantra or thinking what I wanted to happen in my mind, and then brought on a vibration in my body where then I was able to separate. Now you can believe that or not believe that. It was a technique called concentration of will, where you say the same thing that you want over and over in your mind, and it activated the vibration in my body, and there was separation, and I was able to separate from the physical. That's my truth. I've done that twice in this life. I did that when I found out that it was something that someone said, people do this. And I was like, and this is a long time ago. This is, 34 years ago when I had this experience. I did it because I didn't believe it. So I learnt it and experienced it so that I know that we go on, because I didn't know if the human being or us as a spiritual being actually went on after the physical, right? Well, I believe it because I experienced it, right? So I don't have to argue this with you, Sir Wavy Audits. I experienced it. Straight as, genuine as I can be, right? If you don't believe it, that's sweet as, mate. I'm not here to make you believe it. I speak my truth, right? So I'm happy to do that. FFMNZ, how you going, brother? Obviously, Craig, Melbourne, Australia, across the ditch. Good to have you jumping on. So I'm speaking my truth as I always do. And the truth is today, everyone creates what happens to them. But some people do it subconsciously, or everyone does it subconsciously that hasn't yet connected with it consciously, right? But I'm a very strong believer in the fact that we are the individuals creating our own lives as we go along. And it is something that we can all become more consciously connected to. Start small. What you put out is what comes back. What is happening around you is a reflection of who you are. All these understandings, all these experiences that you have in your life, you can test different things to see if you can influence them. If you act really, really nasty, you're probably going to find that you'll attract other situations that are also pretty nasty, pretty low vibed, right? I mean, if you attack someone, they're going to attack you back. But, I've seen people like go up to people that are really out of control and really angry, but they talk to them in a very calm manner and say, it's going to be okay, we're going to help you. And because the person is talking at a very high vibration, that person just can't be angry at them and calms down. I've seen that happen. Now, I'm not saying you walk into a violent situation and try that, but like attracts like with vibration. If you lower yourself down to people acting low, you're gonna have to deal with it at that level. If you stay at a high level, you have the chance where another person can actually be brought up to your level and calm down, right? People get angry and frustrated when they feel disconnected, when they feel like they that life's no good, like it's not working out for me, and they become really disconnected. The disconnection from my perspective is with themselves, right? In a lot of cases, these individuals have never been told that the true connection with their life is within themselves, right? So take the time to be good to yourself. Slow down. Don't beat yourself up about what you've had happen in your life to this point. Be thankful and grateful that you've got yourself to where you are, and you've done the best you can. I say it all the time, right? There's no place that you're going to get to in life, in my humble opinion, that is you've made it. You've already made it. Life is the experience. It's the journey. You've chosen to experience and go through this life to learn what it's like to be you, to actually get a deeper understanding of who we are, seeing ourselves from a different reflection. This world is amazing. This world is created by us, for us. That's the mind trip, right? Green Dragon, how you going, mate? Brought me a new shovel. Well, Razor, that's very nice. Be kind to yourselves. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, if you're waiting for someone else to pat you on the back and say you're doing a good job, you might be waiting for a while. You create your own reality, right? What you put out comes back. If you're not putting out positive things into the world, if you're not treating everyone the way you want to be treated, how can you expect to be treated that way yourself? You ever met an arsehole in life? It's very hard for people to be nice to an arsehole. So be a nice person. You might find that other people start to be nicer to you. It's pretty simple, right? But it's test the water out, right? Do you create what goes on in your life? I don't know. I do know for me, but for you guys, it's important that you test these things out for yourself. Now, I don't know if my buddy Mr. Blogs is still on here, but I know Fred Blogs is a regular visitor to my chats these days, and he's very much turned things around for himself by everything he said. And I think that comes down to him taking a few of the ideas and testing the water, testing things out. I say it to everyone, if you can change yourself, if you can be the best version of yourself, right? And because if you want to help people that you care about, if you want to help out your family, your kids, your friends, and you want to help all of them have better lives, it's not about going out there and trying to make their lives better and do things for them in that way. You need to look inward and be the best version of yourself you can be, so that you're as highly vibed as you can be and upbeat and all the good things coming your way, so they can see how you've done it. So you can pass on, hey, do the things that you love. That's how I raised my boys. I didn't tell them they had to do a subject. They're grown men now, by the way. But I didn't tell them they had to do a subject because, you got better grades and you could get a job that makes you more money. I said, pick the ones that you really enjoy. Do the ones that you enjoy. And they got really good grades, right? And they're doing things that they really enjoy now. It's not rocket science. We don't have to follow what the world seems to direct everyone in. Wear this makeup, girls. You've got to look like this to be accepted. Bullshit. Be your unique self. Whoever you are, whoever you want to be that person. I hate, Stepford Wives where they're all freaking the same. That's ridiculous, right? We want uniqueness. The beauty of life is uniqueness, right? It's embracing our uniqueness. I'm a pretty unique individual and I want to be going down that path. This is half the reason I've done these lives. I'm doing it for myself. I'm expressing what I believe. I don't have to do it for anyone else out there, but I'm doing it because it's who I am, right? I do it to help improve myself so I can get a reflection back on where I'm at. Am I believing the right thing? Am I being the most positive individual I can be. And at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, right? You guys can get the opportunity to pick and choose a few things that, oh, Craig does that. That sounds pretty good. I'll give that a go. I'll give that a go, right? There is no right and wrong in life. Listen to the words, okay? Everyone here, all, you create your own reality. Each individual creates what happens to themselves. Now, you might not consciously be aware of it yet, but you do. ME50, I know that you're going to have an awesome life. Mate, you are. You're going to have an unbelievable life because you're investigating it. Don't be worried about what you're going to find out. It's the journey. It's the opening to who we are. I think human beings are so much more than what we realize. I think we have been, stifled. I think we have been limited. I think there's much more to us than meets the eye. And I think it's an exciting journey to discover this, right? And this is what it's about for me. People listening, talking, discussing, hey, I can try something else here that's outside the norm. Let's see if there's something to it. Let's be adventurous. It's how there used to be explorers back in the day that would hop in their ships and they'd go hunting for new land. And they'd get out there on their ships to discover new land and all that stuff. Well, the new land is inward, people. The undiscovered lands are within ourselves and they are infinite. They are expansive, We connect inwardly, we understand externally, right? We need to quieten ourselves down, right? At the moment, with all the craziness in the world, don't get caught up in it. If you can, don't have to watch TV or the news especially. They're going to focus on the negative, right? So try not to watch the negative because remember, your subconscious creates what it thinks, sees, speaks, and acts. So, you don't want to be adding negativity into your mind if you can help it, right? Because you're trying to center yourself and you're trying to create a more positive reality for yourself. And the way one does that is by clearing your mind and only thinking and speaking and acting in the way in which you want to create your world, right? So it's quietening down, it's slowing down, and it's taking conscious control of these three things. You can be in charge of your own world and your life consciously. But you got to slow down. You got to step out of the rat race a bit. Once a day when you get home, after school, after work, make space. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes at least. Once you start doing that on a regular basis, once you start just relaxing, if you don't want to do the breathing, just relax, right? Just relax and be kind to yourself, right? You are perfect as you are. You all are, right? You don't have to be or act in any way that isn't comfortable to you, right? I want you all to be who you are. Listen to your heart. Who is it that you want to be? Start doing those things that are in line with what's in your heart. The things that bring you the greatest joy. The things that make you feel the most passion. The things that lift your vibe up so that all day long, if you're doing something that is aligned with something that you're passionate about, you will never feel like you've worked a day in your life. You will be excited to be there doing things to the greatest level that you can. That's what it does. It connects you with the life force energy that is from the higher self of you, from the you, the reason that you came here. If you do something that you hate doing, right? How do you feel? You feel shit. Your vibe drops off. It's like people that do a job because I've got to do this job, I've got to pay the bills, but they hate it. I'm not telling you guys either to quit your jobs and it will just happen, right? assimilate it. I know you got to pay bills. Hold on to your job, but start to add in a little bit of those things that you're passionate about. If your subconscious starts to see you doing these things that you're more excited about, guess what your subconscious mind does? It creates more opportunity in that area. And who's to say if suddenly a job isn't created, that you don't create a job that's more aligned with what you're passionate about? And then, oh my goodness, I can let go of that job and do this job that I absolutely love. That's creating your own reality. That's what connects you with that understanding. And when it's something from your heart, when it's something you know you love, and you suddenly start getting to do it as a job, oh my God, that's when nothing can stop you. That's when you all will be like charging at life, you know, and you'll be having discussions with friends and family about how you made it happen. Now, you know, from Mount Druitt, Australia. Hey, Joel, how you going, mate? And I appreciate you, mate. Yes, I'm Melbourne, Australia. Proud of it, mate. Cheers to you with my glass of water, Joel. Thank you for the nice comment. Believe in yourselves, guys. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, I can't live your lives for you, and you can't live them for me. The number one thing that I think that I know that is important is being your authentic self. And I hear a lot of people in celebrity level say that a lot of the time, that it's a big focus for them, right? Being their authentic self. I remember hearing a speech by Paul Stanley. Now he's the one of the guitarists in Kiss, the rock band. And I remember him saying in a speech that all he ever wanted to do was play guitar and sing. And he didn't care about being famous. He just wanted to do the thing that he knew he loved, right? And look what happened. He's like, he became one of the main members of the greatest rock band in the world, Kiss, right? So being your authentic self is, for me, it's number one, right? So the other aspect to that is to be your authentic self is to actually live it, right? But to know what's in here. Who are you? What makes you feel the best you can feel, right? Improve. How you going, mate? Good to see you. Vander Deep. Volt Beat Movsar. Oh, look, I love the Volkanovski. I think Volt will, yes, if that's who we're talking about. I think so. I'd be on him, yep. Authentically living your life. There's one person in life that all of us can't lie to. Do we all know who that is? Who is it that you can't lie to? There's no prizes, but it's ourselves, right? We can't lie to ourselves. I could completely make up stories and lie to you guys, right? If that was what I was doing. But the one person you can't lie to is yourself. And if you want to live an authentic life, if you want to see if that can transform your life, because your subconscious mind only wants the best for you. Thanks, mate. Will be a tough challenge. It will be. Thank you, Stuart. Absolutely, mate. It's that one thing, right? It's the one thing that every single person can't get away from, you know, being the authentic you, right? I mean, if you live in this life and if you're taking this life seriously, which I hope everyone is, right? Because life's precious, right? Like, if you don't take this life seriously, I find that bewildering. I think people get worried and they want to think about it and talk about it because we all do take it seriously, right? But it's about being authentic with yourself and actually. And watch. Are you talking about my bench press? Don't go to the gym anymore, mate. Couldn't tell you. I could bench press over 100 though, but kgs. if you're saying that to me. But yeah, it's been a while. The being your authentic self, it's how you create the things in your life that are definitely meant for you to create. Your higher self, your subconscious mind wants you to have the best things that you can have in your life. But the way you communicate to your subconscious mind is through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And no one tells us these three things. No one tells us. No one lets us know that if we think like an idiot, we're probably going to create a lot of stupid things, right? We're going to create a lot of situations that aren't so positive. I mean, once you realize that these three things actually affect what's going on in your life, I guarantee you, if you come to a realization of that, if you come to a realization of that, that you will take very seriously how you think, how you speak, and how you act. You know, so we basically want to transform our lives for the better, and connecting with the authentic self that you are and being honest with yourself about who you are gives you the starting point of where you want to go. You know, you are where you are because you did the best you could up to this point in your life. And again, I've said this once tonight already, but you have to accept yourself for where you are. You have to say, well done on being where I am today, right? I did the best I could with what I knew to be true. And, you know, I've been as good a person as I can be, right? But if you're hanging on to things that you haven't been able to accept, if you're hanging on to situations that were negative creations at the time, things that happened to you that you didn't have any control over, if you're hanging on to those things, they become blockages. They become energy that just doesn't move. And when you've got blocked energy, your natural being is to change and let new energies in all the time. When you've got blocked energy, that's when things become stagnant in a person's life. That's when they think that change doesn't happen automatically. We are beings of change. We change every split minuscule of a second for our whole existence. How do I know that? We're getting older. Your molecules are dying in the body every moment, right? It's change constantly, right? We are creatures of change. We manifest our own reality constantly. You don't have to make something appear. You've already created an infinite choice of pathways to go down. So how does it work, Craig? Well, you decide what pathway you want to go down. Who do you want to be? Listen to your heart. Listen to your authentic self. Be that person, because that's what you came here to be. Because you set that up before you came here. If it's from your heart, if it makes you feel excited to do a particular thing, I would highly recommend not ignoring yourself, because something that makes you personally that excited, an action or a job or an experience, that is a message from your higher self to you. We should be doing this. And when you start doing those things, life transforms for the better for those people. Your higher self will, boom, your subconscious will open up and help you go down that path faster than you can, shake a leg. Hello, Blink. Bilk. Shall I just call you Blink? Look, life's what you make it. Make it good. It's the simplest statements that people make throughout life. What you put out is what you get back. It's such a true statement, that one, right? It is such a true statement. Don't put out bullshit. Don't think crap, right? If you think badly about someone, it's probably because there's a programmed belief inside you that thinks that someone that acts like that brings up this belief. But that person out there that's acting that way has been created by you to do that particular thing, to make you feel that way, to give yourself a chance to change that belief for the better. Everything that happens outside yourself in your world is a reflection of who you are. You are made up of many, many walls and programmed beliefs. Beliefs are only there because you believe that they exist and that they're real. Guess what? No beliefs are real. No beliefs are real. They're only real because you give them power. You believe that that exists. It's a pretty heavy statement, that, isn't it? Mate, life's what you make it, right? What you put out is what comes back. You can test it for yourself, right? You can test it for yourselves. I'm not here to test it for you. All right, I've tested these things out over my journey in my life, and they work, right? It works. But you can only, as an individual, don't worry about what anyone else is doing, test these things out for yourself. Act really positive to someone and watch them come back at that level. Or if they don't come back at that high level of positivity at you, they'll be quite embarrassed because they're not used to being up at that level, right? You'll feel that you shifted them. Like attracts like. If you come at someone with a high positive vibe and they're down here, they're almost forced to come up to your level, or you come down to their level. Now, if you're staying up and positive, you'll force them up. Well, Adam, if that's what you enjoy doing, mate, that's on you, all right? Green Dragon. I hope that life is, you're grabbing that tail of that dragon, mate, and you're having a crack, right? I had this image when I was a young guy. I used to love the idea of being this wizard on the back of the dragon, right? Flying around on me wizard. I thought it was the coolest thing. Imagine if I had my own dragon. Oh, love dragons. Well, Adam, that is your opinion, my friend. But that's not my opinion. I see religion is quite limiting because, and it's fear-based in a lot of ways, unfortunately. But I'm not here to dive into religion. I'm someone that believes that each person creates their own reality, and it's probably opposite to religion because religion believes that God created everything and that you're just a puppet. And if a person wants to be comfortable in that space in the religion, I'm happy for you. But I do not, I've gone, I understand things from a different perspective, and that's things that I've learned over my journey. And I hope that's okay, Adam. If it's not okay, well, that's fine. But I think everyone should allow people to believe what they want in their lives, right? And here at Craig's World Rocks, I like to empower everyone with the belief in themselves, because you all have untapped power and it is coming online, everyone. So I'm excited. There goes the dog. Don't worry, guys, there's no one at the front door. The dog barks at nothing all the time. So we just want to go forward. We want to be confident about who we are. We want to connect more with who we are. We want to believe in who we are. And we want our lives to be as good as they can be, right? And I want to learn what I'm about. I'm not going to blindly believe in something that other people are telling me this is what it is without proving it, okay? Not going to do it. I've been through that, Hey, Sarah, how you going? Welcome. Love the Irish. I have a nan who has passed and she was 100% Irish. Her last name was Kelly. I've never been to Ireland, but it's one of my bucket lists. I would love to get to Ireland. Very similar people to us. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Down to earth, honest people. Love the Irish. many of them in Melbourne, Australia. Top people. Just there you go, Sarah. Just gave your country a massive rap because it's true. But yeah, so, getting back to how I look at things. Look, take ownership of your lives, everyone. Be happy with who you are now, right? That's the key. Be happy. Hey, Gator, how you going, mate? Be happy with who you are now, everyone, right? You're awesome. Don't give a stuff. Don't worry about what someone else thinks. They need to worry about themselves. I believe we should all just be focused on being the best version of ourselves we can be. Be the authentic you. Live honestly from you. You don't, look, I'm going to say this again. You don't have to do anything in life to achieve anything particular to be a being that will live forever. I believe we already do live forever. We are eternal beings. We are part of the all that is. We are our individual sparks of love and light that we are. We exist to understand ourselves from different perspectives. This is why we live multiple lifetimes. We come back, we live it as Auntie Joe, and we live it as Uncle Harry, and we live it as the priest over here, and we learn about ourselves from many different perspectives and many different lifetimes. But we want to grow and expand and understand ourselves. That's what I believe, right? Life is about the journey. Love the journey. Dive into who you are. Do the things that you love to do that are just something that you individually go, oh, I feel so good when I do that. Holy moly, you are telling yourself to start doing it. So wherever you can, start to do those things that make you feel, wow. It's one of the reasons I started doing these lives. I love public speaking. I wanted to have somewhere where I could do it. So bang, I start doing it, right? I hope people appreciate it. I do feel a lot of you guys appreciate me being on here. It's just, life is about, how the hell are we going to change this world for the better if we don't focus on being the best version of ourselves we can be? Because it starts with one person. Sorry, Penny, it's zipping past there. It starts with one person. We have to lift ourselves up. You can't control anyone else unless they let you control them. And I highly advise you don't give your power to someone. Keep it in here. You do you. You be the best version of you because it's what you want. Everything else stems from that. If you are giving your power away and trying to help someone before you've even helped yourself, you'll deflate, you'll go into depression, you'll burn out. Right? And it happens to a lot of carers, happens to a lot of nurses. They help, and they just forget to help themselves. You got to start with you, everyone, right? You know what, Penny? That is a terrible experience. Edith, thank you. I'm just going to get back to Penny in 1 second. Where is my evidence? My evidence comes from my experiences. Clives and I am very much in, it's about getting you guys to test things for yourselves. Yet this is not, creating your own reality is real. Everyone does. We are not puppets. We need to take our power back and we need to wake up to who we are. We're more than what we've been told we are. We are perfect, we are powerful, and we are loving, and we're not bloody sinners. There you go, I said it. Religion says we're all sinners. That's bullshit. Who gets the right to tell you that you're shit? I take homage with that, right? And I understand religion, so I don't want to go into those conversations, but it's very limiting and it's very controlling and it's very fear-based. All right, I'm going to leave it at that because I want to just answer this question for Penny. Penny had a tough week, found out my wife has been cheating on me with my brother. They're moving in together. Life sucks. Penny, that's a terrible situation to find yourself in, especially when you're connected with your partner. And I just want to say to you that when one door closes, another one does open. and there's going to be someone even better come around the corner for you. And you believe in that because you're bloody awesome, right? And you deserve the best. And understand, this is the tough thing to grab onto, right? You created this situation. And that's a good thing because you know that the right person is coming around the corner, okay? No, I do not. I drive a Holden Commodore. When I was a young guy, I had a Holden, but it was a HR mate. That was many, many moons ago. Yeah, Penny, I want you to be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. I know that creating your own reality, it can be tough to get your head around a bad situation. But every situation has, every door that closes, another one does open. It's that balanced yin and yang aspect. And you're in charge of your reality. So as hard as this is, I want you to try and stay centered. I want you to be good to yourself. And I want you to believe that there's so much more coming your way. And you will one day, you will look on this time as, I'm glad that happened because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But you're just not there yet, okay? So it's, just be kind to yourself. I'm sorry you've had to go through this because it's hard when you experience the emotion, but something better is going to come for you. So know that, okay? From me to you, know that. Be kind to yourself. Did I once own a Monaro? I had a mate who owned a Monaro, yellow canary, a canary yellow Monaro, mate. It was a bloody beauty. Nothing tangible, I'm speaking. Well, Clive, I'm sorry that I don't gel with you, mate. So if I don't, you're under no obligation to hang out. That's okay. I appreciate you. You know, if you ever come around and, you know, want to check out, do people create their own reality? You know, there are many different things you can look into in that space, mate. So, you know, no problem. So there you go. Talking about Holdens. Holdens are pretty good, but, you know, they don't make new Holdens anymore. I did have HR back in the day and also had a HQ. That was when I was younger. They were pretty affordable back then, not like cars these days. But, you know, can't get anything bloody roadworthy under 10 grand anymore. So positive attitude, everyone. You know, if we're gonna break it down to that nutshell, we're gonna come back to being, simplifying it all down. Attitude is everything. Your attitude. If you accept yourself, and all your past and all of the things that have happened up to this point, and you just accept them, warts and all, you don't have to deal with them. You don't have to let anything go. Just accept it. I don't really have a favourite NRL team, Bad. I'm a Victorian, so, you know, I'd say the Storm, wouldn't I, if that was the case. But no, I'm more into the AFL scene, my friend. So when we accept who we are, then you want to be on a daily basis taking notice of how you act. There are going to be things when you say something during the day and you look back at how you've acted during the day and you think, oh, geez, I didn't like what I said there. You've got to analyse yourself then. If in the now you're responding to things in a way that don't seem that positive or then they're quite negative, you have to try and work out where it's coming from. You know, and a lot of the time that can be having a memory pop up when you think about what you've said and why you said it. You know, there might be something come up from the past where you go, oh, my Auntie Joy used to say that particular thing about that situation. And when I was a kid, I remember her saying it all the time. And here I am actually saying that again, yet that's not a very nice way to respond to that situation. I want to let that go. I want to be this version of myself. It's really deciding if you like a particular thing about yourself. Remember I said that there's no beliefs that actually really exist. They only exist when you give them power, right? When you empower a belief, right? So if you don't like the way you act and you don't want to respond like that anymore, when you realize that you don't like that, you've dispersed that belief, right? And then you can put in there something that's more positive, something with the way that you want to think, right? You create your own reality. You create your beliefs that you want to believe. You create the you that you want to be. Endo, how you going, mate? You create everything. You've been created from a baby, honestly, and programmed by everyone that came across you as a baby in your life. They said, oh, look at that little baby. Don't touch that. Be this. Don't do this. I don't have enough for super chat. Oh, I don't even know really what that is, Endo, because I don't really look at that. Do a backflip. XO67, you do a backflip first. But I have to see it. So otherwise, I won't be doing one. We've all, I hope that each of you takes the time to start to look. Well, that's your opinion there, XO. I didn't see it. Each of us has to basically, all right, I appreciate you, man. I can't do a backflip anyway, just quietly. So we need to take the time to look at ourselves, right? You don't have to do a backflip now. Look at the control coming out of XO. Don't try and force people to do things, XO. It's not very nice, all right? I don't put up with that. Neither should anyone else. Grandpa. How do you know I'm a grandpa? It's a bit rude. Very rude, jeez. You must be young because you're using the number 67. That usually says that you're quite a young person. Eh? Yeah. Thanks, X. I appreciate you, mate. One day you'll get older too. Remember, what you put out's what you get back. That's a fact. So what's the deal here? The deal is I am an individual that believes that everyone creates their own reality, and I talk about life, the universe and everything, and about taking control of your life and transforming it for the better. Music Max, and that's pretty much it. I'm being my authentic self. I'm expressing what I think about life, the universe and everything, and that's what we do. And I'm doing it for me, and that's what Craig's World Rocks is about, and it's about giving people another perspective, I reckon, that there's other ways to look at how we look at life, right? So we will say goodnight to XO. But we basically want to take ownership of what's going on in our life. So starting to learn. No, I'm not a religious person, Music Max. I know religion quite well, and I know what they believe and where they come from. Religious groups in general believe that God has created everything and that we are parts of his creation. I, in other hand, believe in the all that is, that we are part of existence and we are all equal. There is no God above us or below us. We are one, and we are part of that. We come into this world in the same place that everyone else does. We'll leave the same way. We're all equal. We're all living the existence together. We're all living the creation of life together, and we're learning experience and having the journey, right? The journey and experience that we're having in this life. And that's it, right? Like, you get out of life what you put into it, right? I think life's important. I think that if we've chosen to come here and live this life, it must be important because we chose to come and live this life, right? So that's it. That's it. There's not much more to it than that. I mean, you know, I go into talks. I've talked a bit tonight about, you know, the three aspects to creating your own reality are what you think, what you say, and how you act. Those three things are the three things that individuals need to take back control of. You know, when sometimes a situation happens and you think something negative about it, well, that then gets heard by your subconscious, which creates more of that negative in your world. What you think can affect what gets created. when you say things that aren't so positive, then your subconscious also, well, I believe we all did, Music Max. I believe we all did. You can look at life in three ways, right? Either you're an atheist and you don't believe that there's any meaning to life and it's just random. At the end of it, you'll disappear and there'll be nothing more to life. You believe that there's a being that's made everything happen to us and created you here. And again, you don't have a great amount of control because someone else is actually controlling you and a bit like a puppet master. Or you believe that you were involved in the creation of this world. You are a part of the all that is. You had a say in this, right? You can prove that you create your own reality, right? You can. But it starts with small steps, like, no worries. Starts with small steps. So when you put out positive comments to people, and then those level of comments come back, you're proving that what you put out's what comes back. You're starting to get an understanding that you have a say in this world. Now, the world is a big place, right? The world is a big place. There are things that are happening all around the world, and the only thing that you can control in this life is you and your choices and how you go about doing the things that you do. You know, hang on one second. Well, could be argued by the description of the subconscious that it is God. Well, you can call it whatever you like, my friend, ME50. I like to call it all that is. It's the life force of existence. And we are an equal part of it, right? So you could say that we are God, that we are God, Goddess, all it is. We are a part of that whole. You know, a lot of the, well, no, Anne, I didn't say that you did. But you create your own reality. You're a part of the whole experience, which is this world, which there are many, many individual beings that are creating their own reality within the collective, right? So there's an overriding collective creation going on, but there's also within that the individual creation going on. And when you tap into that, when you understand that, sorry guys, I say I do. Yeah, exactly. But I don't call it God ME50 because it kind of has the religious connotation that people take that different way. If anything, I'd call it God, Goddess. All that is, that's just me. It's the energy, it's the life force energy. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, Music Max. Been here my whole life, mate. So yeah, I don't know if you're an Aussie or not, but yeah, it's life and understanding how things work is something that drives me. It's always been in me. It's always been a curiosity. It's always been something that I want to know more about. I want to understand it more. And I think that people often accept what other groups or spiritual groups say blindly, right? You can prove these things to yourself. Like I've said this many, many times, that twice in my life, no, man, Canada, love Canada, beautiful, mate. Very similar to Melbourne, Australia, from what I've been told. So we're a bit like-minded people in the two countries, mate. But somewhere that I would love to visit one day, have not been able to get there at this point. But 2 times in my life, I have been out of my body. I have separated from the physical, and I've looked at my energy body, and it was electric blue, and I was vibrating. I could see my fingers and hands and everything, but in the energy sense, and I could see my upper body and torso just with energy vibration, and I was able to look back and see my body laying in the bed. Now, I've done that twice, and all I can say to you is the feeling of who I was about 1,000 times more energized than when I'm in my body. It was quite amazing. And if that's what dying is, looking forward to it. Not saying that we all we all just pull the bin now, but I can tell you from my perspective, mate, that I've proven to myself that life goes on, right? If you're interested in out-of-body experiences, there is a person called Robert Monroe. He was an out-of-body experiencer many decades ago. He wrote a book called Far Journeys, and now there is a university in America called the Monroe, M-O-N-R-O-E, or no, it might be Monroe, M-U-N-R-O-E, Monroe Institute. Anyway, the Monroe Institute, Robert Monroe was the author of the book, and the institute was created from his experiences. He created that university, and there are people that go there and learn how to have out-of-body experiences. It's real. So it proves that we go on. So it kind of wipes out the atheist idea, right? Like, life goes on. Now, where it exactly goes to, I don't know. But we go on, right? We're a part of it. I don't believe there's beings that are going to be above us and they're going to, what do you think you're doing and why have you acted so badly? I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think we live this life to experience ourselves from many different perspectives. And that can be something tough to grasp for people. But, you know, Music Max, appreciate you hopping in, mate. All good. Anyone that likes how I talk and carry on, which I do, don't forget to subscribe so you can see when I jump on live again. But, mate, appreciate you. Growing the family, want to keep talking about all this stuff, and happy to have the input, mate. So very early in the morning for you, so you go get a bit of shut-eye, all right? And, yeah, appreciate you. Oh, so for everyone else, you know, I think I was trying to wrap it up a while ago, and I was still talking. So more of it does, ME50, the subconscious and the subconscious mind, or your higher self, if you want to put it like that, actually will create according to what you say, what you think, and what you do. And yeah, see, there's no God controlling us. We are a part of it all. We're a part of the all that is. We are God, Goddess, all that is. We are a perfect spark, and our individual perfect spark of love and light and existence. That's who we are. We are perfect as we are. We must accept ourselves as we are fully. We don't have to prove anything to ourselves. We are living a journey. Live it with love. Live it with joy. Live it with fun. Do the things that bring you the greatest joy and fun. Because that's what your higher self or your subconscious is saying. Because that's why you get the feeling of, oh, I love that. That's why you get the uplifted feeling. That's the connection. When you feel that way, keep going in that direction. That's the light on the lighthouse, right? Oh, come this. No, don't go this way. Lighthouses are supposed to steer away from them, aren't you? Because you're crashing into the rocks. But, you know, totally botched that up. My analogy was terrible. Yes. Right? It's in here, mate. It's in here, in you. It's not out there, right? The more that you go inward, the more your external will transform in the way that you want. It'll become glorious, because the wave of energy that's coming over this planet is all about the individual connecting with their authentic self. Be the you that you chose to be. Be the you that you came here to be, right? We all deserve great things in our life. We deserve to be loved. We deserve to be, you know, abundance. We deserve, we deserve all the good things. If you want them, create them, right? Luna, how you going? good to see you. I'm glad you could join. We have been discussing life, the universe, and everything from Craig's perspective, and that you all are more powerful than you realise. You all create your own reality. Don't give your power away to another person. There's a comment that I often don't make, right? Because when you do that, you're putting yourself down, all right? You're putting yourself down. And putting yourself down is not acceptable because we're all perfect people. There's nothing wrong with any of us, right? Our uniqueness is what makes us amazing. Embrace your authentic self. Be who you've always wanted to be. Do the things that bring you the greatest joy in your life for you. Don't do things for other people. That's not the way to find connection. That's not the way to have the best life you could have. The best way you can go forward in your life to have the greatest feeling about your life is to be true to yourself. Who gives a shit what other people think? Who cares? Too many people care about what someone else thinks, and it's not the answer. The answer is be good to who you are. Be kind to you. Go forward in your life and spread that word. Be the best version of yourself you can be so that other people see that and go, oh, well, maybe I can be the best version that I can be. That's how you help other people, by helping yourself in that way. Live an authentic life. You are more in charge of what goes on in your life than you realise, right? So pay attention to what's happening around you. It is a reflection of what's going on inside you. And if everything around you is going good, thumbs up. If there's a few things going on that aren't so positive, maybe there's a couple of things that you need to adjust, you know. Maybe there's a few things you need to clear out. Beliefs that are a bit too negative, whatever it might be. But remember, what's happening around you and in front of you is what's going on inside you. How am I? I'm going very, very well, Luna. And there's some people on my lives that say, you know, Craig, you missed a positive. So that is just how we go, right? Well, I wear these glasses because my vision ain't so good anymore. JP Blueguard? Blue? No. My eyes are green and hazel. There you go. Anyway, very nice comments. Appreciate all of you. If you like how I talk, if you like my positive attitude, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to join the family. You know, good vibes all around, big man. 100% agree, mate. Because if we're not putting out positive, we've got no chance of turning things around in our lives, right? We've got to basically be as uplifted vibes as we can. And that's why my greatest advice is do the things that you love to do. If you've got something that you really would love to do every day, like a job or whatever it is, thanks, ME50. I didn't know that I'd crossed over to 500. Party, everyone. Woohoo, Craig's got the 500. That's exciting. Luna, appreciate you. Thank you for enjoying the conversations. Look, I appreciate everyone for jumping on. It's just me speaking my truth, and it's something that I've enjoyed doing for the last, since December I started doing lives. Big man, you're always welcome, my friend. I'm very much, glass half full character because I believe that what I put out is what comes back. Simple as that. Each person actually can influence their lives for the better, and we can transform things for the better. And it's about realizing that for from ourselves as individuals. You can speed Cuba Saffron. My day is going awesome, my friend. And the live today has been very, very good. Sunday night here in Melbourne, Australia. So, others are elsewhere. Maybe it is a different time zone, but it has been going well. And I hope that all of you are being kind to yourselves, treating others the way you want to be treated. The world can change. It can change one person at a time, right? Luna from Adelaide, you are appreciated. Remember to be the best version of yourself you can be, because when you treat people in that way, that's how they start to treat you, and that's how you transform your life for the better. Thank you for hanging out. Everyone, I'm going to call it a night as well. I've been going for quite a while, but remember to like and subscribe and hit the notifications so you can see next time Craig's on. And I look forward to chatting with you all then. And yeah, be good to yourselves. You can make your life better. And hi, Elizabeth. I'm signing off though. So if you like positive talking people, that's me. Always glass half full. All right, take care of yourselves, everyone. It's been a joy. I'll see you all soon. Take care.